Good morning, Sea of Galilee and Tiberias here at the Ron Beach Hotel.
Good morning.
Good morning. So the door's open and here's our early breakfast so we can get to Mount Tabor early today. Morning.
Morning.
We're ready to go this morning, and who is this?
Oh, good morning, good morning. Another group with Steve and Janet Ray here in the Holy Land, and we finished a big one a couple of weeks ago. We're looking forward to another big group next month. Oh boy, you're fully booked, Steve, and we'll be more than happy to serve you anytime you come to the Holy Land.
Very good. This is Amr Shahada of Best Tours. He's the only guide and friend I have over here that I use for my groups.
Thank you.
And this is Duty. He's the best driver. David.
Good morning, Boker Tov.
Feast of Saint Luke, one of the evangelists, 4 evangelists, gospel writers, and also attributed to write the Acts of the Apostles. So I was reading today in the Office of Readings, one of the Liturgy of the Hours, by our words, by our gestures, by our attitudes.
Driving out of
So
Tiberias
the world
toward
needs
Mount
today
Tabor.
authentic preachers of the word, like Saint Luke did.
You're the only country in the world that cares about others, actually. But sometimes I think you... Yeah, $2. $2.
This is pomegranate juice. Coochie is making pomegranate juice for everyone.
The best in the Holy Land.
It is. Excellent. Well, we're at Mount of Transfiguration. We're all here ready to take those taxis up. Quite an experience going, switching back and forth. People going, oh, oh, as we go up the mountain. You're good, Amr? All right, here we are going up the taxis at Mount of Transfiguration. Look at down there.
I think one time I tried to do that. There you go.
Right around the walls. Good drivers though, so we're not afraid.
Look at that. That's a
Look at down there.
Shot.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, here we go.
Hang on, everybody doing all right?
Yeah.
There's a marked path. Mountain of Transfiguration for Mass.
Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Hello. Hi, kids.
Hello there.
Having a great time.
Matthew, Catherine, Sarah, and all
Praying
the
for
grandchildren
you.
praying
Yeah.
for you.
If we could, of the shrines that were already in existence. This one too, again, because of the elevation, the Muslims didn't come up here and destroy. And it took a while before they destroyed this. History says that the place was destroyed and, deserted only in the year 1212.
We're going to see clouds and talk about them along the way. Clouds represent the glory of God. The glory of God came down on this mountain. The glory of God came down on this mountain. Moses, I don't know if you realize it or not, when Moses went to see God, every time he came back, his face was glowing. It was so bright they had to put a veil over his face, or you couldn't even look at his face. So he walked around with a veil so that you could even look up and see him. Moses had a veil because his face was so bright. What happens to Jesus here? His face turns bright.
But I like that. My uncle lives in California,
in San Francisco. Always when he called me, tell me come to visit, I told him our first station it will be to Texas.
Good state.
It's a good state.
Amir explains weddings on our way to Cana.
Son, put on some shoes.
Here we are getting off the bus in the very crowded city of Cana, and we arrive at the wedding church where Jesus turned water into wine. Here's a sign at the door, this Franciscan custody of the Holy Land. We are renewing our wedding vows here at the place where Mary told Jesus to make water into wine. Here's the ceremony. We're here in Cana at the St. Simon the Canaanite Chapel outside. Beautiful chapel, renewing wedding vows.
Repeat after me. Husbands, I renew and affirm my wedding vows to you. Once again I promise to love you and honor you. In good times and in bad. In sickness and in health. For better or for worse. All the days of my life. Once again I promise. To love and honor you. In good times and in bad. In sickness and in health. For better or for worse. All the days of my life. What God has joined together, let no one set apart. Consecrate the love which these married couples have for one another. The wedding rings they once exchanged are the sign of their fidelity. May they continue to prosper in the grace of the sacrament. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women.
Our beautiful bus right there, and our driver David's coming up. We are at the Ata restaurant. We love to bring groups here. Can't hold more than 50 though, because it's a family restaurant, and one of those nice restaurants where authentic food. And there's our great waitress that's helping us out. And here's all the food. Everybody's settling in and getting ready to eat. All the mezza salads are on the table. And it looks like we're going to hear a blessing. Quiet.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
This is great home cooked. This is a picture of Nassan. He's the Christian owner of this restaurant. We support the Christians, and now we're back on the bus heading to the Church of Annunciation. Well, we're getting off the bus here in Nazareth. It's really crowded here today. Lots of people in cars. And we're going to head right up here through the streets to the Church of Annunciation. How you doing, Father? Very good. We're now walking through the streets of Nazareth, up the hill to the Church of Annunciation. Busy place today.
Divinity of Christ. You know, eagles are way up in the sky, but with a sharp sight they can see a small insect on the ground. That's the idea of divinity. All right? That's very brief, and it's not just I'm not doing just to that theme, but just a brief thing. Genesis 3:15, that serpent, enmity between women and the serpent, reminding us of the sin in paradise. On the other end, we have Isaiah 7:14.
That's the upper church. They're having Mass there. But our group is processing down to the grotto below. That is the cave where Mary lived with her mother and father, Joachim and Anna. That is the cave where the angel Gabriel said, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." We're going to pray the Angelus there now, as our group is all in front of that cave where Mary was. And we're also going to pray the mystery of the Rosary of the Annunciation. We prayed the Angelus here in front of this altar that says on it, "The Word became flesh." Here, this is where Mary was conceived with the Son of God in her womb at the words of the angel. Next we go to the Church of St. Joseph, which is built over the cave of the Holy Family where Mary, Joseph, and Jesus lived. Here's a picture of them down in that grotto and a medallion that says the Holy Family lived here. And we get sometimes the art we see is misrepresentative of her in a way because it always shows her so perfect and immaculate. And the art does not always try to present what the eye sees. Art also has the job of presenting the inner qualities of something. And so these beautiful statues of Mary are beautifully portraying her as the sinless virgin, the Queen Mother, all of these things. But on the other side of the coin, Mary was a real girl. She was 15 years old. She lived in a rustic cave. She got up in the morning. She had to go to the bathroom like the rest of us did. Where do you go to the bathroom when you live in a cave and there's no plumbing? You have to go outside. And I don't know, I know that the Jews had very strict rules about latrines and covering things up once you go outside. There was rules like that. But you have to imagine the Holy Family getting up first thing in the morning and having to first go out and use the facilities, whatever they were, very rustic as they were, and then come back in and then they prayed. Definitely the most important stop of the day, and we have to keep track of all of these restrooms. But here we are back on the bus heading back to Tiberias. People have the afternoon for a while to swim and enjoy themselves. Here's Amr talking with some of our pilgrims and people swimming and having fun. It's great seeing folks having some free time. There's Bishop Kemi with some of his folks. They're having a beer and wine and just enjoying the Sea of Galilee after a rich and full day. We just got off of our bus and our folks are coming in. There's the bishop at the Magdelena restaurant, which is an exceptional restaurant. Just unbelievably beautiful. Look at here. Walk in, the first thing you see is the aquarium and all this old pottery and nice wines and things. And here we go. Some of the finest wines in Israel they have in this restaurant, and we picked some of the best ones for our group. Bishop, how long have you been in New York? 2010 years.
A wonderful blessing for us to be here and end our time in this beautiful part of the Holy Land in Galilee. So we want to toast all of our family and friends and those we're thinking about back home, as well as the many people who made this pilgrimage possible, and all the wonderful experiences that we've had so far and more to come. So here's to our pilgrimage.
The food is exceptional at this restaurant, and on top of it, we're supporting Christians in the Holy Land. Everybody had a great meal, unexplainable, and we're all going back home a little bit early tonight to get a good night's sleep and ready to head to Jerusalem tomorrow after Mass at Capernaum.